All right, welcome to the second module, the Sleep Oasis, creating and building a bedroom that is designed to get you ready to sleep, that prepares your body, that primes you for deep, restful sleep. This is one of the most important steps. Yes, there are things to buy, but once you have them, you're good to go. So let's break down what makes a sleep oasis a great sleep oasis. What are the components that we want to be mindful of and that we want to be thinking through that are going to be important and essential to getting us amazing sleep? Number one is going to be that it's dark. Number two is that it's going to be quiet. Number three is that it's going to be cold. And number four is that it is going to be relaxing. Now, as you can see, my room has been set up very specifically, very carefully cultivated and curated in order to enhance my sleep routine, in order to enhance my quality of sleep. I really do think about my room as a retreat. And when people walk into my room, they often tell me it feels like a spa, like the energy is so relaxing and is very soothing. And that is what you're going for. That's what you're looking to create with your sleep oasis. When you walk into your room, you want it to feel safe. You want it to feel soothing and relaxing and calming. And that's going to ease you into better night's rest every night. Let's start with what we can do to start optimizing our room. Number one, as you may see right now, there's a bunch of red light and there's some orangish lights there next to my bed. Now, why this is important is we're going to be talking about this in our next module, but I'll go into it a little bit here, which is blue light is the enemy of getting really deep, restful sleep. So what is blue light? Blue light is, the light that comes from our overhead lights, our computer screens, our phone. This light signals to our brain that it's still daytime. It mimics the sun. And so what happens is when we're exposed to blue light, our body will not produce melatonin. It will not help us produce the chemical that is going to help us get ready for bed because it doesn't know that it's bedtime because of that blue light. A way that we combat that in our sleep oasis is by creating a room that's full of red light. What red light will do is it will help tell your body that it's time to get ready for bed, that it's going to start winding down, that it's time to trigger that melatonin release. And the way that we do that in our room is by replacing the bulbs with red lights or lights that change color. And I will link up below a very specific low EMF red light bulb that you can get from a company called Blue Box. And if you see, for me, I'm using my red light and also Himalayan pink salt lamps. I will link those below. The red light is good for other benefits that we're not going to get into in this course, but it's something that sometimes I use in accordance with my Himalayan pink salt lamps, so that when I walk in my room, I'm entering into a room that's full of red light. And it literally just, as soon as I come in, I'm just like, wow, I'm feeling much more relaxed. I'm feeling much more tired. My body starts shifting into that down regulation and getting ready for sleep. I remember when I walked into my doctor's office a couple of years ago, when I was first introduced to this idea of creating a sleep oasis or a retreat to your bedroom. And when I walked into her office, she had this diffuser sitting on her desk that was diffusing lavender. And I remember the music in the background was very soothing and it's very relaxing. And I remember it feeling like, wow, like this is like a spa. And so what you can do is you can start using your senses with music and with this diffuser. So the scent of lavender is very relaxing, and in combination with the subtle sounds of relaxing music can really help set the scene and start priming and anchoring your body to start winding down. So I will link up a diffuser below, as well as a good Spotify playlist that will help get you ready to sleep. Now, I couldn't make this video without talking about mattresses. I think with mattresses, there's so much different information out there, but what I'll say is that it is important. And for me, I like firm mattresses. You might be different. I think it's different strokes for different folks. So you got to figure out what's best for you. But I will link up some of the best mattresses you can buy that have all-star testimonials, raving customer reviews, and are notorious for being the best in the game. With the mattress, this is not something to cheap out on. We spend a third of our life sleeping, and thus how we spend our time on that particular mattress is going to be very, very important. And if we want to maximize and optimize our sleep and that 1/3 of our life that we're spending asleep, then probably better not to take the cheap route. When we do decide to turn off the red light and the salt lamps, the light exposure component of going to sleep is very important. So it's essential that we block out as much light as we can. So if you have blinds like me, you might want to consider getting blackout shades, which I will link up down below. If you don't want to install blackout shades, or that's just not feasible for your setup, then I would definitely encourage you to get a sleep mask, which I will link up below. Now, depending on where you live or what your living situation is like, or how crazy and fiendish you want to get with your optimization, then part of getting great sleep is staying cool. And we'll go into that in greater detail in the next module, but my best tips for staying cool is just to change your thermostat and bring it down to sub 70 degrees. You know, somewhere between 70 and 65 degrees will get you optimal sleep temperature. But if that's not possible for you, then there is a device called the Chili Pad, which might be something that you want to look into, which is basically like a layer that you put underneath your sheet that is cooled through water that helps keep your bed cool. And that way you can keep your core body temperature down while you sleep. Even if you live in a hot apartment, or you don't have AC, or you live in a very hot part of the world, or there's not very good circulation in your AC unit, whatever it is, the Chili Pad is there to keep you cool inside your bed to ensure that you get the best sleep possible. Last but not least is if you have allergies or lots of dust, or you live in a particularly humid environment, then I would definitely implore you and invite you into considering getting a HEPA air filter. This is important because these particles that are in the air, whether it be dust, whether it be mold, or whether it be animal hair, these things can really disrupt our sleep if we are sensitive or allergic to these things. Not all air filters are created equal. Again, this is not the one where you just want to go buy the cheapest one on Amazon. I literally spent an entire day doing research on the different types of air filters, and there are significant differences in the technology and things you want to look out for and things you need to know. I will link below the one that I bought and the one that I trusted the most. So if you have problems with allergy or mold, I would highly recommend that you get that, and will dramatically increase the quality of air that you're breathing while you're in your room, which is really important while you sleep. So those are some of the items that you can get to add to your room to start creating this sleep oasis. And for me, I thought very consciously about the type of furniture that I was going to buy, like my bed frame and the 2 bedside tables and the plants and the artwork. It's all very conscious. And it's created specifically and it's designed to help me feel relaxed. There's lots of symmetry in my room. The colors are matching. There's a minimalist drawing of a plant above my bed because to me, when I see it, it signifies, oh, this is relaxing, this is soothing, and this is what helps me wind down just by stepping into my room. So I want you to think about the most relaxing environments you've ever been in. I want you to think about the last time you went to a spa. I want you to think about the last time you went to a beautiful hotel. And think about how those environments were designed intentionally and how the space was able to make you feel a certain way just by walking into it, just by entering into it. This is what we're trying to create. Now, this is an amazing opportunity for you to get creative, for you to have some fun, and for you to really start designing things the way that you want it to be designed so that it makes you feel good every time you walk into your room. That's it for the Sleep Oasis video, and I will see you in the next module.